Definition of curl. So during engineering time, if you are from B background or if you are from BTech background, especially if you are from electronics and communication, so we will be having a subject in second year, maybe third year, about electromagnetics. So there you will come across a concept called curl. So it was one of the challenging concept for me to understand and imagine this. So let me explain what is curl and how to imagine it. So here we use two terms called vector field and three-dimensional Euclidean space. If you don't know about what is the concept of vector field and concept of three-dimensional Euclidean space, go and revisit those concepts and come back to this video. So if you go by Wikipedia definition of the curl, so what it says is, the curl is a vector operator that describes the infinitesimal rotation of a vector field in a three-dimensional Euclidean space. So we are taking F as a vector field, and the curl of the vector field is represented by this inverted triangle multiplied by into mark and vector field. So we call inverted triangle as del cross F. So this is the curl of a vector field. So Euclidean space, three-dimensional Euclidean space, we are taking XYZ coordinate. So suppose this is a point P, we can represent this point P with three coordinates x1, y1, z1. So this is a box. It represents the position of P in three-dimensional space. So basically we divide a vector field having three components in the along the direction of three axes. So one is x-axis, another is y-axis, another is z-axis. That is the component of the vector field along x-axis, which is called fx. The component of the vector field f, which is along the direction of y-axis, is called fy. The component of vector field f along the z-axis is called fz. So basically vector field is composed of these three components. So if you go by the mathematical description of curl, so what it says is del cross F is equal to rate of change of Fz with respect to y minus rate of change of Fy with respect to z multiplied by I cap. What is I cap? Unit direction in the direction of x-axis. Similarly, j cap, k cap are the unit vector in the direction of y and z respectively. So by going through this equation, a differential equation, differentiation of a component of one of the axes and minus the another, and by summing all the together we get a curl. By going through this equation, we don't understand anything just by looking at it. Let's take one component, let's break it down and understand only this component. Similarly, you will be able to understand j component and k component. So let's take this term dfz by dy minus dfy by dz. So we have broken it down to one of the term dfz by dy minus dfy by dz. So let's still break it down further. To understand this, so basically we know that curl is a rotation effect. So basically what causes rotation? What kind of forces which causes rotation? So let's break it down and understand one more step. We'll go one more step deeper. So we go to the concept called gradient. So if you know what is gradient, it is the rate of change of force with respect to distance. So here if you see this diagram, Fy, the direction of the force which is in the direction of y-axis, is changing with respect to positive direction of x-axis. So why we are taking gradient? Gradient is responsible for rotation of the object. Rotation. So let me explain how it causes rotation. Suppose if you place a stick here, so like this, then what happens is, because the force exerted at this end will be lesser than the force exerted at this end, so then this this stick will rotate like this, anti-clockwise. Now we have explained, this is a two-dimensional picture I am taking just for sake of understanding before going to the three dimension. So now it causes only, so this gradient actually what it makes is, so if the stick is like this, then this gradient will make the stick like this. Now there need to be one more gradient along this axis to turn the stick full rotation, so that the stick will make one full rotation. Now with the gradient which is already there along the x-axis, so which will make the again the stick like this, and again the one more gradient which is there along y-axis will rotate the stick like this. So that's what I've explained here. Because suppose there is a river here which is flowing in this direction. If you put a stick like this, so then the velocity or speed of the water near the bank will be lesser than the speed of the water in the middle of the river. So if you place a stick like this, then what will happen is, so actually the stick should not be in the middle. Assume that stick is in the bank, near the bank, right? So if you place stick like this, then what will happen, because of the gradient in the force, the stick will rotate. When as the stick moves forward, stick will rotate anti-clockwise. Now you need one more gradient which is along this direction, represented by this curve. Suppose there is a river flowing which is joining there is one more river which is joining this river at this point. So then because of that gradient, so there will be a gradient. So assume that there is a gradient of force here. At this point the water is flowing low, at this point water is flowing high. Then because of that gradient, what will happen is, stick will rotate another half. So now there will be one complete rotation, right? So gradient, so this gradient is basically represented by this term, rate of change of Fy with respect to x is positive. So if you go, what this term says is, so if you go in the positive direction of x, if you increase x, Fy is also increasing. That's what this equation says, right? So this is actual gradient. So if this gradient rotates the clock anti-clockwise by half, and there will be one more gradient, so force like this in this direction, which is nothing but a force in the negative direction of x-axis, and the gradient should be having in the positive direction of y-axis. See what it means is, there is a force along x-axis, so in this direction. So if you go in the y direction, that force will increase. So that gradient Fx force is which is increasing the direction of positive y-axis, is actually will rotate the stick by another half. Okay, so now there will be one complete rotation. So stick was like this initially, now the stick was like this initially, and the stick has become like this, and it will become like this. Okay, now we understood two gradients are basically responsible for rotation of any stick. Okay, so now let's understand the curl, the curl in the direction of x-axis, x component of the curl. Now we are back to the previous page, so where we took curl in the direction of x-axis. So this is the term, rate of change of Fz, force along the Fz with respect to y. So that is explained by this one, this figure. So what it means is, there is a gradient of fz. Fz is in the direction of z-axis. So this is the direction of z-axis when in the direction of y. So when you go towards the positive direction of y, there is a force which is in the direction of z-axis and it is increasing. So that will give the positive term. So what it does is, so this stick is rotated like this, perpendicular to z-axis. This, because of this gradient, this stick will rotate like this and become perpendicular to z-axis, and parallel to z-axis. This stick rotate and become parallel to z-axis. Now there is one more gradient which is needed to make the stick to the earlier position, which is parallel to y-axis. Now because of this gradient, the stick become parallel to z-axis. Now there is one more gradient which is responsible for making the stick again rotate by half, which is what is mean is the stick will become parallel to y-axis. That gradient is this term. What it says is, rate of change of Fy, force along the y-axis with respect to z, is positive. Should be negative. So if it is negative, then minus into minus become plus, and it will add it to the rotation. If it is positive, then the rotation effect caused by this is nullified by rotation effect caused by this term. Okay, they nullify each other. They nullify the rotation of each other. So if rotation has to happen, if this is the term is negative, then it will add up and make the term positive, and more quantity will be more, right? So then what it says is, this differentiation should be negative. So what it means is, so when you go towards positive direction of z with z, the y component of the force, this is the y component of the force that I have written here. This is the y component. They should actually decrease. So this is more. This is more, and this is less, still lesser, least. This is least. Now if you see, because of this gradient, this stick will become rotate like this. Now it will become parallel to y-axis. Again it will come to the same position. When it comes to the same position, because of this gradient, again it will come to this position, and because of this gradient, and it will again come to this position. So like that, there will be a rotation. So this rotation, since the axis of rotation is in x-axis, we call direction of curl is in x-axis. Use right hand rule. So if the rotation is like this, then the direction towards my right side or your right side. Okay. So this was the direction of curl. So this gives the magnitude, and the axis of rotation is actually direction of curl. So hope you have understood what is curl, what is the definition of curl, how to imagine what it means. Thank you guys.